All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the last few steps of how to complete this puzzle cube project. So once you have your puzzle cube assembled, the first thing that I'm going to have you do is go to File, Save As, and we want to create a different file altogether. So we're going to change Assembly to Animation. Oops, I spelled that, and hit Save. Okay, now that's the very first thing. So now, as you can see, we have our assembly here, animation here, and we're eventually going to make our drawing. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is to unlock or break these chains of anything that happens to be chained already. We're going to go ahead and do that, and that's right click on these, break link. Okay, so once all of these are broken, we're now going to go to Design, Animation. And what's going to happen is this timeline will appear, and it's going to record everything that you do. So as we do things, certain steps are going to appear. The first thing I'm going to do, just going to move this out of the way, is to zoom out. Okay, and as you can see, that first action created a movement here, which is part of that timeline. And now what I'm going to go do is go to Transform Components, and it's this icon here. And once we click on it, it's going to allow us to move each of these pieces out. And this is all part of our animation. Use the arrows. And this one's a little tricky. We're going to move it this way and that way till it's sort of about here. And now let's take a look and see. I think I'm going to bring this one in a little more. This one over. Oops, didn't want to lift it up. But if you do, you can always judge by the shadows. Where it sits on the ground. Okay, I'm just going to go with that. And then I'm going to use this arrow. Oops. Get a different view here. Just move this over a little. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to hit OK. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add trail lines, which show the direction of how they were removed from the assembly. So to do that, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to Show All Trail Lines right here. And you'll see that this line appears from where it came from. And I'm going to do that for each one. All right, and there you go. So once we have that, we're going to save it. And we're going to go to Drawing. And Drawing here, or I'm sorry, we're going to go to this animation thing. And we're going to go to Drawing and Drawing from Animation. We're going to hit OK. It's going to bring up our drawing sheet. I'm going to place it just here for now. And over here, I want it to be shaded. We're going to leave it at home view. And we're going to hit OK. But actually, let's just change this to 1 to 2. 1 to 1 is a little too big for this. And we're just going to hit OK for now. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to Sheet Settings, and I'm going to drop this down. And where it says Title Block, we're going to remove that I, and the title block here is removed. I'm then going to just move this whole thing just about here. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our materials list, our parts list. And to do that, we go to Tables, which is right here. We're going to choose Table. And this is going to pop up. I'm going to move this about here. I'm going to kind of move it into the corner a little more if I'm able to. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to edit some of these. I don't want the description there and I don't want the materials there. So I'm going to double click so this menu pops up, and I'm going to unclick description and materials. And I'm just going to hit close and then move this again into the corner. All right, and so here's our parts list. It has each of these parts, how many of them and which part it is, and how I labeled it here. So I labeled it Mr. Schwartz, blah, 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 blah. It should be labeled for you piece 1 red, or yellow piece, blue piece, red piece, so on and so forth. So what happens is we have these bubbles that tell us which part is which, but they're all kind of wonky in their orientation. So we're going to click on the bubble and a gray rectangle appears, and we're just going to reorientate these bubbles. So some of them need to be shorter and just sort of out of the way, but parallel to this. So this is going at that angle here. And I'm going to take this bubble and do it here. And I can actually shorten that. No reason for that to be there. I might even change the orientation of that. And this can go here. It could also go here, which is fine. And then this one. All right, and then this one, I might just swing around to about here. And that's fine. So they're all clear. They're not like in the way or anything. Now, lastly, to finish this up, we're going to put our assembled puzzle cube right in the center here. And to do that, we're going to go to Create, Base View. And this is going to pop up. Now, when we place it, we could leave it at this. This is fine. We could make it to 1:1 if you want. I'm sorry. 1:2 is the right size. But 1:4 is also acceptable if you want. And so 1:4 and 1:2 are the two acceptable ones. We want to change this orientation from front to home. So we have that isometric right there. And again, you can change it from 1:2 or 1:4. Either one is acceptable. So once this is done, we hit OK. And we actually want this to be shaded. So we're going to choose that, close, and this is the finish right here. So this is what you're going to turn in. And that's it. Take a screenshot of that and we're all good. Okay, so that's the end and hope this helps.